What is going on, guys? Marcus here with the Reformation Woodshop. Over the past few months, I have set myself up to have a pretty successful hat making business. As I've gotten better at making hats and learned the ins and outs of all the little things that you need to know, I decided this might be a good YouTube video. So in this video, I'm going to show you several different ways to make hats and all of the tools that you'll need to start making money selling them. So there are three basic ways that I've been making hats. Number one, and the most common, is basic embroidered patch hats. And while I won't focus a whole lot on embroidery because that's not exactly what this video is about, I will tell you, if you don't have a lot of tools, it is the easiest hat making business to start up. All you need to do is order a big box of hats and find a company online that can embroider custom patches. After that, all you need is a hat press and you're good to go. Really, the only reason I'm messing with embroidered patches is because I've got a really good deal going on with a local business right now where they just bring me hats and patches. I press them on for $3 a hat, and that's all of the effort that I have to put into it. This video is centered around laser engraved hats because that's where the market is at right now. They are super popular and everyone is wanting them. To start, you'll need to get hats, and I'm sure I'll get this question a ton. Where do you get your hats? Where is the cheapest, best price possible that you can get them? There are a few things that you need to ask yourself before ordering. Number one, are you planning on full-scale mass takeover of the hat making market? If you are, you need to go to a big wholesale website and order in bulk, up to 100 at a time, something like that, if you're planning on making hats out the wazoo. But what I find is that if you're going with a small quantity of hats, like under 5, Amazon is a pretty good place to find hats. I'll leave some links in the description of places I like to frequent for hats if you're looking. Alright, so for this first version of basic leatherette laser engraved patches, that is a mouthful. I'm going to introduce you to the xTool F1. This little guy has so much power and is super fast and has made making these laser engraved patches super easy. I've had the xTool F1 long enough now that I'm able to calculate perfectly the parameters that I need for these hats and get the most perfect depth and clarity in all of my engravings. I do the heat press transfer leatherette patches you can get from Amazon. The patches that I get are cut, stitched, and ready to go. They fit perfectly inside of this machine, and the speed on this thing is bar none. One thing you need to know about these patches is that when you engrave them, they emit a toxic gas that you don't want to be breathing in. And the F1 here has a really good smoke purifier that I got with it, and it has made it super safe for me to make these patches. These patches are dummy proof, absolutely. When I started engraving hats, I was using an iron, and that was not dummy proof. That was for dummies, made for dummies, named Marcus, me. After working with an iron for a very long time, I realized the next tool that I needed is a hat press. Now, the introductory hat press is this guy right here. This guy was pretty cheap. My wife got it for me for Christmas, I believe. With an iron, you run the risk of not getting full coverage heat, and your hats may end up peeling off, which is not a good thing. With this guy, you can get better coverage overall on every part of your patch. As long as you hit every part of the patch equally, you'll get a great result. But like the iron, it can be a little inconsistent if you don't do a great job. And the main reason I included it was for people who may have space or financial restraints. And although this heat press works good, I've got an even better method coming later in this video. This is one of the most common types of hats you're going to be seeing. This is the basic amateur version of hat making. I ordered a 60 pack of these leatherette hat patches for $12, so they're definitely the cheapest method to get started with. Making hats is so easy. My 8-month-old is already doing it and fighting me in the process. There are many ways to make money selling. I cold call often. I talk to people who have boutiques and businesses that sell a lot of women's stuff but don't have a lot of men's stuff on the shelf. So I pitched to them the idea of me making items that they could put on their shelves. Recently, I got a huge custom order from one of those types of places. There are many people who want hats for their crews, or maybe something like a ranch brand, something like that. We recently had some electrical work done, and my wife talked to the electrician that was there, and we bartered a deal for $350 worth of hats so that we could get $350 off of the electrical work that they were doing. That is another way to move product. Father's Day was a big success. I made a ton of hats for that. And lastly, some of you might recognize this logo. This is the Dewalkie logo from Finished Carpentry TV. He is a huge YouTuber, and I had the opportunity to make a variety of sample hats for him to choose from. So that's why there's so many different colors and so many different combinations. After these get sent off, hopefully we'll get a thumbs up to make 100 more of one specific color, or maybe 2. This method of doing business is more of an investment, but if it pays off, you're bound to make a really good amount of profit. Hats with patches like these can sell upwards of $25 to $30. To get a better idea of how to push that price point further and to make a better quality overall hat, let's head out to the shop and check out my xTool D1 Pro. Alright, so how do you get the premium price and the premium quality hat? This right here is the xTool D1 Pro. This right here is the 40-watt module. It cuts faster and crispier. The F1 over here can cut leatherette patches, but there is a size limitation that the xTool D1 Pro does not have, and that's why we move straight over to this guy to make the best version of our hats. Another reason that we rock with the D1 Pro over the F1 is because I can do 8 to 10 hats all at the exact same time. So I told you this is the method to get the most premium hat possible, and not just use a basic patch that you find on Amazon, but custom cut your shapes and engrave as large as you want on those patches. I'm in a bunch of laser groups on Facebook, and all everybody talks about is high bond, high bond, high bonding. So I got some and I will never go back. We're gonna be working with rolls of leather and leatherette straight from high bond. High bond is a heat-activated adhesive made for bonding hats to patches. It works great with real and faux leathers, PVC, embroidered, and many other types of patches. Through High Bond's website, you can order ready-made supplies to get to work immediately, or you can order all of the supplies you need to fully customize your experience. Instead of getting the adhesive sheets separate and my own material, I'm gonna start with pre-pressed rolls of leatherette because they look great, cut really well, and it's less work on my end. If you do happen to have your own material though, you can save money just by using the adhesive and pressing it right onto your stuff, and you can get straight to work. I did end up finding some leather locally, so I did have the chance to try this out, and while I am only just getting started, I had a really good time with it. I think the hats came out really good, but I think I do like leatherette patches a little bit more than this thick, genuine leather. This is my first attempt at real leather, and I am a fan. I don't like the thickness of it as much as the leatherette patches, but I do love the crispy texture and look. So if you can't tell, this video has been trending upwards in quality and price, and this last stage of the video is the culmination of that. This handheld heat press that I showed you earlier in the video is a little inadequate. The only reason I incorporated it in the video is because maybe you have limited space or a limited budget, but because I've got a new machine, this guy is now obsolete. This is the Vevor heat press. It is an all-in-one machine perfectly designed for getting absolute even heat treatment on your patches. This hat press right here is only $147, and this handheld press was $100. This thing is a very intuitive system. It has the clamshell design here, perfectly designed for tossing a hat on there. It has this little hook down here that hooks the bottom of your hat, creating tension up top. All you have to do is center your patch where you like it. I didn't mention earlier, but whenever I'm heat pressing something, I usually use this elastic band. I'll strap it over my hats, making sure that they're exactly where I want them to be. I use a buffer between the leather and the heat. All you have to do with this machine is put your desired heat in the machine, your desired time. It literally came out of the box ready to go. Every time you shut your machine off, your settings are saved in the machine. The price difference is obviously not astronomical, and I would definitely spend that extra 47 bucks to get this guy. This video was filmed over the course of the last 5 months, and I feel like I was really able to showcase most of the ways you can find success making hats. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comment section down below. I know this was a ton of information, so please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.